Hello, welcome. All Things NLE show. We are back. It's Friday. We're recording this on a Friday. World Series tonight. Few things have happened. Just a few things have happened.
Just a few.
Caden is maybe not in the best shape mentally. As a baseball fan, as a person, he's doing great.
As a person, I'm great.
He's great. He's great.
I'm phenomenal.
But
The Phillies lost.
big Philly fan to my right, guys.
Huge Philly fan.
Or to my left on the screen.
Ginormous Philly fan.
It's
But-
okay.
You know what? It's tough, but I'm excited for the future. of
Oh,
Phillies
come
baseball.
Boo, future. Come on, be like the rest of the Philly fans, like the real Philadelphia people. You're such a Jersey guy.
I wanted to.
You're too much of a
I
Jersey
wanted
guy,
to
man.
see the videos
Too
of
much
the
Jersey.
of the drunk fans climbing the poles and then falling off of them.
Well, we didn't get any of that.
But
And we got a lot of angry
unfortunately,
drunk guys though.
for the first time ever in Phillies baseball history,
They played a game
saw-
7. Did
I
you?
saw them
No.
grease the poles for them not to later be climbed on.
Incredible. No.
Sad.
Wait, they only got to 2 wins last year. You're right.
And you're right. This is the first game 7 in franchise.
That's
history.
crazy. The Phillies have been around since like the 1800s.
We were an original team.
yeah.
They-
First
I-
game 7 ever. Ever,
and they lost.
Crazy. Shall we get into game 7?
We
Do
should
you want
get
to
into
revisit
game 7.
that what was the wonderful, not very wonderful. It wasn't a bad watch. Wasn't a bad watch. Let's go straight into it. We'll go, I guess, chronological order. Talk about Ranger Suarez a little bit. Are you good, man?
Yeah.
Daydreaming, dude.
No, I'm not daydreaming. I don't like
got caught.
I don't like hearing about this.
Doesn't
man.
like revisiting the past.
Nothing
All
like
right, Ranger Suarez. Not a bad, pretty bad outing. 4 2/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 75 pitch count. His playoff ERA ended at a 1.93, which is pretty exceptional.
Yeah, no, we had a great pitching staff throughout the rest of the playoffs. This was probably Ranger Suarez's worst start. of the
100%, not even
playoffs.
close. Yes.
I mean, and it wasn't even horrendous. You could argue it was bad, but it wasn't like anything that you'd be like, oh, whoa. like-
D-backs are hot. And Corbin Carroll, who I don't know if I said this on the last show, expecting him to stop playing like it looked like he was playing timid, especially in game 5. He
Yep.
was playing very timid. Was very aggressive. This was the Corbin Carroll game. He didn't get MVP of the series, but if it was a wild card and if it was just games MVP of game 7, definitely Corbin Carroll. The story kind of the night when it comes to Rob Thompson, and a lot of his decisions have been questioned, especially after that game 5 where they were up 5-2 and the bullpen
Mhm.
blows the lead late in that game. Would Ranger Suarez runner on second with Corbin Carroll up? I think it was second at bat. Whoa, Bell. Corbin Carroll comes up with a runner on. Would you have let him face it? It was his last batter. Batter, 2 outs in the 4th inning. Runner in scoring position. Do you take out Suarez? Remember, it's game 7 and Zach Wheeler is available.
I mean, look, I feel like I probably would have left him in, but at the end of the day, that's a close call, and I'm gonna let the manager who has done exceptional up to this point, barring a few decisions. I'm gonna let him take the shot. Who's not only a smart baseball manager, but he knows a lot better than I do where everyone's at on the night. How tired and how what everyone's attitude is going into this game. So I don't mind him at all making that decision. And
He was
You
2
know.
for 2 already. So I know it was lefty. Maybe you play the probability. There's no way this guy gets a 3rd hit off of him. Or you just don't. You just say, oh, okay, Bell. Or you just say that he sees the ball extremely well against him and you just take him out. You don't let him face him a 3rd time. The Rays would have never done that. But that's why the Rays are also sitting on their
Rays,
couches.
yeah, the Rays are not anywhere close to the
I know, I'm just
NLCS.
kidding. I don't know why I brought up the Rays.
The Rays will never play an NLCS ever. You want to know why, Manny?
Because they're in the American League.
Good job.
There you go. So yeah, I would have taken him out. If it's game 7, if this is game 4, I don't take him out. If it's not even, maybe even game 4, it's the playoffs. I would have taken him out. Brought in maybe go with the Alvarado that early. Maybe
Yeah.
spark the guys up a little bit. Don't let the game. It was a tie game at the time.
Or,
Bring out the big guns. Bring in Wheeler.
call me
after.
crazy. I was going to say Wheeler too.
Maybe Wheeler at that moment. I don't know. I would have done it.
I would have been
Fire
fine
up
with
your
Wheeler.
dugout. You haven't. Game 6 was a disaster. Your offense been a little melted down. Second inning, you got a little something going on. Nothing else really happened the rest of the game, to be honest, other than the 4th inning. But I don't know. It was the 5th when the D-backs scored 2. It was a tie game, 2-2. There was no way Ranger was facing him. I didn't understand that. Obviously, I'm not gonna pile on Topper because the rest of the postseason, other than maybe Game 5, I think it was
Flawless.
exceptional with the
Yep.
bullpen for sure. It just kind of stings that. I mean, first Game 7 ever. Maybe not used to that type of atmosphere. I guess I'm not making excuses for him. That was really bad. I think it was really bad. But it is what it is. Moving on. That wasn't the rest of the game. Philly should have hit.
Philly,
And they didn't hit.
I don't think this isn't a pitching thing. We scored 2 runs in the most important game of the season. And that's why we lost more than anything else. We were talking about this. Turner, Harper, and Castellanos just completely forgot how to hit a baseball from seemingly Game 3 on in this series. And that's why we lost. We have people that we're paying hundreds of millions of dollars to just not playing baseball, and that's how you lose series. They were hot, they had all the steam, they were hitting, and then I don't know if it was the trip to Arizona that did it, but they just shut off.
JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, and Trey Turner went a combined 1 for 16 in Game 7. JT, 5 years, $115 million. Harper, 13 years, $310 or $313 million.
Something like that.
Trey Turner, 11.
Another $300 million man.
$300 million.
And Nick
Castellanos got one something, right?
He's got 5 year, $100 million.
5 years, $100 million. So 100 plus 300, 400 plus 115.
We got almost a
Math
billion.
pot. Hold up. 515. 515 plus 313 is Harper. Harper was 313, right?
I believe so.
Is 618. Math pod. Come on now. $618 million, over $500 million.
Almost
1 for 16 in Game 7 of your biggest game, the biggest game of the season. Game 7 of the NLCS on your way to a World Series.
If you round to the nearest billion, that's $1 billion.
That is indeed $1 billion if you're on to the nearest billion. Math pod. Come on, we don't go to high tech for no reason, Kaden.
No, we don't just watch baseball all day.
Come on now. Anyways, yeah, that kind of stings. They kind of disappeared. The Phillies went 4 for 28 with 1 extra base hit. That extra base hit being a double with runners in scoring position and their 4 losses. So they just didn't hit. Every time they lost, they just didn't come through with runners on.
Nope.
We saw it in the 8th inning.
I mean, we saw it almost
was it 7th or the 8th inning? 7th, 8th inning, big guy comes up. You're thinking it's 2022 all over again with your series on the line. Well, they weren't on the line. Series clincher. Harper comes up, 2 runners on.
Everyone.
A homer takes the lead.
Everyone.
And he
was
flies out to
stealing the
right.
home run.
Or to center. I don't know. It was like right center.
When I tell you, I truly believe from the bottom of my soul that Bryce Harper was going to hit the swing of his life, part 2, into those left field bleachers. I really did, man.
So I think Marsh led off that inning. Yes, Marsh led off that inning. And I was watching a game with one of my friends, and I was like, I want 2 runners to get on, and there be 2 outs. Please, I'm begging. I was begging for that. And it happened that way. I think Schwarber got on a walk. Marsh got on as well. Pache, I think, struck out or something. And then Turner, was out as well. Pretty sure that's how it went. And then Harper comes up. And he went 0 for 4 in the game with a K. So Harper's final postseason stats is slash line 286, 455 with a 643 slugging. Are you happy as a Phillies fan with the way Bryce Harper performed in this postseason?
I mean, we saw 2 Bryce Harpers. We saw pre-NLCS NLCS Game 3 Bryce Harper and Game 3 NLCS Bryce Harper and onward. And before that, he seemed like the best player in the playoffs, you know. He was slashing somewhere in the upper 400s with an OPS in like I think it was like 12, 13s.
Yeah, he was going nuts.
So I mean he just shut off, and it wasn't just him. Like you said, the runners in scoring position thing, and
That's the whole team.
we saw that almost the whole series. It wasn't just Game 3 and on, but in the first two, they just hit a ton of solo home runs. And when you rely on that to win baseball games, it's bound to just not work at some point, you know.
Yes.
In a 7-game, that might work, you know, in the wild card when it's 3 games and you can just get hot for a little bit. But 7 games is quite a few baseball games to be playing. So that's you can't lie on like short-term outlying success for that long.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of solo shots in game 2. They got hot at the end of that game. Kind of got out of hand. D-backs weren't hitting. Kind of just looked like they gave up. A lot of people thought series was over after game 2. 10-0, 2 dominant wins at home. And Bryce Harper did have a good game 5. Stole home, hit a homer. Good game 5, just didn't show up game 6 or game 7.
Nope.
Nightmare situation for Caden Drumler, guys.
Bad
for the
situation for Caden Drumler and the rest of the Phillies fans around the world.
Okay, is the Phillies season a failure?
No, it's not. I mean, we made the playoffs, which, you know, was expected, and we made a decent run. We beat
the Braves.
We beat the Braves.
That's huge.
And we beat Miami. I mean, we beat 2 divisional opponents in the postseason. That's not something that happens every day. We came in, let's say, 3rd or 4th place, and I think we have a team that's, you know, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit lower. So I think we performed well, and I think this is a good sign of things to come.
I personally view it as a failure, not because they lost in the NLCS, but the way it happened. So you go into the NLCS after beating Atlanta. You're playing the 6th seed, the worst record to make the playoffs in both leagues. 84 wins. The Blue Jays had 89 in the American League. Not only that, and the Twins actually had less wins than the Blue Jays, but whatever, that doesn't matter. Not only that, you're up 3-2. Going back home, the Piro's laughing in the back. You're up 3-2, going back home, and you blow it at home. Not only you blow it, you score 3 runs in 2 games. I view it as a failure. With Aaron Nola in game 6, you had Wheeler available in game 7. Just the way it happened, Thompson doesn't push the button. A little hesitant to pull the trigger in the 5th inning. Just, it was silent. It was ugly. It was an ugly scene. Like, the crowd was just dead.
The crowd
after the 5th
dead.
inning.
The
fifth,
the crowd was standing the entire game.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, you're right. They weren't dead, but they were like begging for a moment, and they just got teased the whole time, especially after that Harper at bat. They were just being teased the whole time. And then it was just after every half inning, sit down. You ever been at one of those games where, you know, everything is like, it's a close, tight game. Your team looks like it's about to do something, a lot of drama, a lot of runners on, and you're standing up, and then he strikes out and you sit back down in disappointment.
No, actually, the game that I was at where everyone
you went to game 3.
Rhys Hoskins hit a 3-run home run, followed by a Bryce Harper 2-run home run 2 pitches later. So I was never in doubt. You know, that was a really fun game to be at.
Okay. Anything else on the Phillies before we move on?
No, I think I got all my frustration out.
Okay. It's okay. Yeah, he's really mad at the umpires too, Caden, after game 3. Game 3.
That was frustrating.
Because, I mean, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, if they would have won game 3, if that guy doesn't make that call, they would have won. Score more than a run. That's my take.
Yeah.
That's my take. All right, moving on. We will be giving more. I guess we'll just go straight into off-season plans and stuff. That's the plan for the show going forward.
Yep.
World Series. Try to mix it up a little bit. Maybe get people. You know what? Let's not give the public any insight.
Let's make them watch the show.
Let's make them.
We got to get the views up. There's only one way.
Let's surprise them.
Or we could start clickbaiting titles really hard.
I imagine that'd be funny. Maybe people just start liking to watch us. You never know.
Maybe we get more funny. Maybe
You
that's
never,
it.
yeah, a little bit more. All right, World Series predictions or not?
Let's just chuck
World
them out
Series
before the
predictions.
season starts. I'm going with
Not
none
NL
other
East, not NL East. So we are not living up to the title today.
than
All
the-
things NL East. This is not all things NL East. This
Then
World
the-
Series features 2 Western teams.
Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm taking the Arizona Diamondbacks.
He's only saying that because he doesn't want to see the D-backs lose after the Phillies.
No, that's not it. That's really not it.
Would you be more sad if the Rangers look horrible and get swept?
I wouldn't be. It's not going to affect
Would you-
me. I'm past
nothing. Because then you could say the Phillies would have won a ring.
nothing.
Imagine, Caden.
Nothing that
Imagine,
happens.
Caden. Just imagine
No,
if we
I'm
were
not
on
gonna
this
think
show
about
right
it.
now,
No.
talking about World Series preview, talking about, and then in the future the Phillies win the world, and we're celebrating. You come in all your Phillies gear to school. Oh my gosh, so close, so this close, guys, this close. It's okay. I'm done teasing him. Marlins probably gonna lose 90 games next year.
Well, no, nothing that happens this series is going to affect how I think about our season.
All right.
But what's your prediction? I got the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Give me Rangers. I think they win game 1 because Uvalde's a stud. Monty, it's weird because the D-backs set up their lineup maybe better against lefties, but Montgomery's been so good because they'll just slide Moreno up to the 3, who has like a 1. OPS against lefties. Then Lourdes has better at-bats. They sacrifice a little bit of defense. They sacrifice a little bit of defense because they bring in Tommy Pham. They move Corbin over to center. They move Ketel up. Their lineup definitely favors against lefties. I'm going to say they win that game because Merrill Kelly's been so good. Oh, my gosh. Phillies trauma. Do they split in Texas?
Yes.
You think they split in Texas?
I think they.
I'm not going to give you a game by game. It's too much predictions. Rangers. I feel like 6 is too basic. Rangers in 7. Like, give me a 7-game series. Adolis Garcia. Another monster series. I'm calling it. Hopefully he's not like Cespedes, another Cuban guy who was just a monster in like the NLCS and the NLDS and then did nothing in the World Series for the Mets.
Well, good predictions. If you'd like to make your prediction, a survey has been sent out to the entire HCST
That is
population
true.
where you can fill out your World Series predictions.
That is true. Caden's doing that, guys. Follow the laser too.
Follow the
Will you
laser.
follow
Big
that?
laser guys right here.
Laser guys. Big zoom in. That's Caden's face. You
That's
know
my
what?
face.
To end the show, put some sad music and just make Caden's face the full screen. Twist the camera. There you go. That's the face of a Phillies fan. We're screenshotting this. This is going on the page on all the
It's
pages.
blurry. It's got the camera's not focusing.
Have a good day, guys. Enjoy the World Series tonight at 8:00. All things NL East. We'll be back with NL East content, going over the Phillies and all the other teams in the NL East. Marlins, Nats, Braves, Mets. And maybe we'll give Caden a glimmer of hope. Look on the optimistic side towards the offseason. You guys have a blessed day.
Have a wonderful day, guys.
And enjoy. Thanks for watching.